Okay, so guys, I have some breaking news for you guys, okay? I was about to sit down, record a video for one of the new cards. You know, the Le Fay card, Morgan Le Fay. Well, guess what? They added something to the game, which I am super shocked at, okay? I don't know if earlier I just missed it or they just added it not like an hour or so ago. I don't know. But if we go over here to cards, I was collection complete. I'm no longer collection complete. And you know why I'm no longer collection complete? Because there is a new card. What, there are two new cards technically. There's this card, Hellion, which we will go over his effect real quick. Next turn, you can move card to this location. And then we have the next new card, which is Mercury. You can move this once. Ongoing, enemy cards can't move here. So she's like an anti-move. You know, she reminds me of, that one dude from Terminator 2. Have you ever seen? That dude that can literally, it kind of like, his body kind of like a liquidy type substance or whatever. So he can change it into whatever he needs to and whatnot. Yeah, that's kind of what vibes I'm getting with that. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get her because why not, right? Claim her. There we go. We got a little bit of tokens back, but now we are like almost broken, token broke completely almost. So yeah, but hey, at least we got the new cards, right? I don't know why this is still appearing here because we have him according to this. So, yeah, actually, let's go to our collection and double check that we have both of them and they're both visible in the game because there was a bug yesterday where they would appear like in a bundle you could buy or something, but they didn't appear in the game. So let's actually go to our collection and see, okay? Okay, as you can see, we sorted by new cards. By the way, this is the card I was talking about at the beginning of the game that I was just going to make a video about. And then these two cards all of a sudden pop up. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I gotta get them. I talk about them. So I figured, hey, I'll make a video talking about them. Originally, I was like, hey, why don't I just put them both in the deck that I'm making with Morgan Le Fay? Well, they aren't really compatible with Morgan Le Fay because they are very move oriented. Yeah. They aren't exactly compatible. Which is interesting because Mercury kind of like a low-key counter to a move deck. And move decks aren't notorious for running Enchantress or Rogue. So I'd be interested to see how that works out entirely for them. Let's see, you can move this once, your enemy cards here can't move. And so basically, you can move it, then your enemy would no longer be able to move cards. So, I mean, that's literally a Madam Web counter, right? Right? I'm not crazy here, right? That literally counters Madam Web entirely. The only way to prevent this Madam Web counter is to, I guess, play Rogue because, if you have to Enchantress that lane, you're basically making it so you can't use Madam Web anyway, right? But yeah, that's just my opinion on that. I didn't actually know I'd be doing a review on both the cards in the video too, but hey, why not? Let's talk about both of them. We already talked a bit about the Mercury direct counter to Madam Web, as well as some other moves. Like, usually you probably could get this because move happened first, right? So even if you play her in a location where your opponent doesn't have any move cards, you can always move her to a location that you know that they're going to want to move that card out of. So, yeah, there's always that. That is good. And then the auto Loki stops Heimdall's shenanigans as well. But yeah. But now let's get on to Hellion, shall we? Hellion is also move oriented. I don't know why move is getting so much support. Last month, move got 3 series 4 cards for support. So yeah, move is getting a lot of support, okay? Like, you can almost build a move deck from all the new moved cards that we got. So yeah. Anyway, let's continue. Oh, what did the month before last? One of the months. And then last month move got Zorn, but back to Hellion. On reveal, next turn, you can move cards to the location, okay? It specifically says you for a reason, okay? I want to point that out. The reason I want to point that out, because let's look at the reason this is such a high cost card as well. I didn't even look at its cost. Man, that is a big cost. But if we go to move, we just type in move like that, we see Zorn, Hellion, but the most comparable card to Hellion here would be none other than Cloak, okay? Hellion is basically like a cloak, okay? But the key difference between Hellion and a cloak, because let's look at the cloak's ability. The cloak says on reveal, next turn both players can move card to this location. Whereas Hellion specifically says next turn you can move card to this location, meaning that your opponent doesn't get the option to move cards to the location. So it gives you an edge. You specifically, it gives an edge, which I think is quite interesting, honestly. But yeah, I think he's interesting. I personally think he might cost a little too much. I'm not entirely sure, but I think he might cost a bit too much. Okay, I mean, 5? That we don't have anything as of recording this that decreases the cost of 5 cards. I mean, in theory, we could probably put him in a blink deck, I guess, and hope for the best, but see, because we have Zabu to decrease 4 cards, we have Ravona, but Ravona only works on, like, 1 card, 0 card, -1 card. I mean, 1 power, 0 power, negative power, whatnot. Hellion had 8 power. So Ravona's a non-starter for Hellion. Zabu won't work because Hellion's a 5 cost, not a 4 cost. The only way to get him out early is to cheat him out. there are cards that can cheat him out. In fact, there's a move card that could cheat him out in theory, and that's Red Wing, oddly enough. So, yeah, or if you get extra energy early, you can play him in something else, like maybe some Wiccan move deck we're looking at. But overall, I think Mercury's a solid counter to a move deck. Mercury has, although, okay, Mercury, I think it's solid. I I'm just thinking about this now. It's very odd because she's literally tech for move and nothing else. Tech for move. Just wait a moment and listen to that. Tech for move. Tech for move. Interesting. Interesting. If they're doing tech for archetypes altogether, that will be interesting because then you could do the build anti-move type deck. And then Hellion, I think, costs a little too much. I hope they reduce his cost. But with that said, I do understand he's powerful because not only does he have 8 power, but his effect makes it so you can move cards, but your opponent can't move cards, and that can be powerful within itself. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe he's costing that because he is so powerful. Maybe I'm not seeing it, okay? So yeah, maybe I'm not seeing the bigger picture. But let me know your thoughts, comment section below. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.